Okay.
Welcome to Humpdays.
Welcome back, Humpers.
We're here in Rome, and the quietest spot we could find was the mausoleum of Augustus, the very first emperor of Rome.
Look how gorgeous this is. Like, there's so much beauty in Rome that literally no one's here.
This is something you can pass up.
Like, this is like a sunny day, prime hour, and no one's here.
No one's here.
But it's a beautiful backdrop.
Beautiful backdrop. So, South Park just pulled an episode. They've never done that before. They said that they weren't ready in time. But they've been doing it for almost 30 years, so it's not like they're rookies at this. And
yeah, they used to be producing one episode a week. Like
every 2 weeks, yeah.
We're
like
a little suspicious, as much of the internet is.
Because, like, those who don't know, the first few episodes were just depicting Charlie Kirk. Like, Cartman was Charlie Kirk. And now this whole thing happened, they kind of have to rewrite everything.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of rumors going around that, like, either they didn't have anything written, or they need to rewrite something, or they had something written and they had to pull it. The rumor is that what they had written was that Cartman as Charlie Kirk got, unalived, and everyone at school is just talking all these nice things about Cartman, and his friends are like, yeah, no, Cartman wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And then now because Paramount had this big merger, like I think the South Park guys got like $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then now like, okay, we paid $1 billion, and I think the higher ups were like, hey, if you do air that, you might get rid of half the audience in America because things are so hot right now.
And because of Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, and Jimmy
Right?
Kimmel also, just seeing what happened to him,
He's not able to, like if there's a joke about the president right now, your show's getting canceled, right?
Yeah.
And he's Paramount too, right?
He's
no?
Disney. He's
Disney.
Which is also really funny.
Even
now.
harder.
So even harder now. So
Yeah.
with him saying, I think it's just a backlash of people just upset about buts, or like just
What do
getting.
you mean?
Well, because he said that the guy who did that to Charlie Kirk, was MAGA, and he wasn't.
Oh.
And it's just like people are just, that's it. We're done with those half truths because now you're on a broad scale network, like you're just passing on false information, and I think the right is just done with that now, because for so long they were just this silent majority. Like if you ever talk to someone on the right, and some of you that do have some conservative views, whenever a liberal would talk to you about how they hate Trump, you would just be quiet. You wouldn't go toe to toe with them. And now I think with that, like just having discussion is over. They're like, we're fed up with all this stuff.
With what?
Well, with you just like not telling the whole truth. Like it's just the stuff about Charlie Kirk, like saying that this guy was MAGA because his parents were conservative, and that's not true. There's a lot of people that are in the LGBTQ plus community that did have conservative parents, right?
So Charlie is LGBTQ?
No, the person that unalived him.
Oh.
Yeah. So Kimmel basically got fired because of that.
Yes.
He said, oh, look, they're trying everything to do to make sure he doesn't seem like he's one of their own.
Right.
And it's like, that's not true. This guy had a trans boyfriend, or a girlfriend, a guy, whatever, a trans girlfriend.
Right.
So it's just like he didn't have that ideologies, and he made something up. And it's just like, they're just done with that now because Charlie Kirk was the one that tried to have conversations. He was a pacifist, and like, look what they did to a pacifist. So now the people are just done with that, and I think that's why Kimmel got yanked.
Do you mean a centrist?
A pacifist is someone that doesn't believe in violence, talking things out.
Yeah.
He was a pacifist.
Right.
So I think that's what's happening now. It's just like we're done talking. We don't care if we look like hypocrites, because they were the ones that did say, like, we don't believe in cancel culture, all this stuff. Now it's just like, no, we're done. We'll be all the hypocrites we want. We're done with this stuff. We're done being the silent majority. We're done with this. And I think that's the big backlash that's coming. And it is kind of interesting that we're at the tomb of Augustus, because he was the first emperor that went from the Republic to the Empire. So this is what we're seeing right now. There might be a change they might get into some authoritarianism right now, and this might be the catalyst for it, because it is bad that the government is getting involved. But there has been some things that happened like that before. Like the Obamas did get Roseanne Barr fired from her job because she made a joke about Michelle Obama. So that did happen as well.
Yeah.
There is some hypocrisy.
And I do think, like, forever, we saw it with Stephen Colbert and everything, kind of promoting the dancing vaccines and stuff like that. I mean, like, it's not news that these are government organizations that have to kind of fit the mold of who is currently in power, right? So that's not that new.
That's a good point.
So it is interesting that there's like a huge outrage, I think it's just like not tactful now, basically. Like they're just like firing him right after that happened. It's like so obvious. I don't know. I feel like there's like some kind of, I don't know, panic going on, and it's like really, they're making it a little too obvious here.
It is, because it's like the emotions are very high, and I would say like a big difference between like liberals and conservatives is that liberals like go on emotion, like they're very emotional, and that's why like they make the better movies and art, because that's more emotional, as well as conservatives are better at podcasting, because that's a nuanced conversation, that's a 3-hour conversation.
They're better at like debating,
but now it's just like that side is just blinded by like these emotions, like something's woken up in them that now they can't see that this might be an overreach of censorship. They just had enough. They've had like 10, 15 years.
I actually think a lot of podcasters are against it, though. Like, I think a lot of podcasters are seeing it. Like, I saw Andrew Schultz
they've always been fence riders, though. I think that's their shtick. I think Tim Dillon was right about the censorship. He's very right, because he's been talking about like Peter Thiel and how like they want to just be heavily on surveillance.
Yeah.
Like the tech companies just want to surveil everything.
Yeah.
And maybe that is a good thing. Maybe that does help with crime, but it will hinder free speech.
Yeah, and it already has been.
It already has been?
I don't know, like you can't even really, even like ChatGPT will like not answer certain questions, right? I mean, it's heavily censored.
Yeah, it is true. It is very heavily censored.
Yeah, and I think that everybody right now is maybe, what's really beautiful about this time right now is that most people who are, you know, fence riders, as you put it, I'd say like most people are turning into that, which might actually be a good thing, because we're finally entering an era of nuance. Yes. Like people are starting to understand that the two sides are kind of an illusion, and the government is hoping that we keep fighting on these two sides. And it's like, both sides are, what was the word my friend used? It was sort of like a hidden opposition, right? It's like these are just both like fake oppositions, right? And the media is like all, that's a purposeful tactic, right? Like everybody's
opposed opposition.
Everybody's kind of controlled by it. And then now we've noticed that, you know, if you speak out against a certain group and a certain thing, then it doesn't matter what side you're on, you're an enemy, right?
Yes.
So it's like not really about the sides anymore. I think we're all figuring that out.
Yeah, I think we're figuring that out. Jimmy Kimmel just had, I mean, they're all justifying by saying your ratings were down. You're also a hypocrite. Like you literally said people that weren't vaccinated shouldn't go to hospitals.
Right. They
shouldn't be allowed any medical care. You've lied countless times on air. So like, there's a hypocrisy there. And also it's just like, he's on network television. So it's like, that's like the last form of monoculture. And monoculture is like where we all, I think that's why like bands now, people are nostalgia for bands. Like Oasis, why Oasis is so big, because it takes you back to a time where we all shared kind of the same culture, as opposed to now we're all in our like echo chambers. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's not a shared culture anymore. We're all in our own echo chambers hearing the same thing. Yeah. And like late night TV used to represent that, where it was a monoculture, but now it's just become this very niche thing, and it's so expensive to produce that show that it's just not worth it anymore, and it incites like so much rage on TV and boycotts.
What do you think? Because I actually do think there could be a kernel of truth with like the ratings being low and this being the way to go out.
Yeah.
Because like if you could choose a way to go out as a talk show host, would you go the Ellen route? Would you go the low ratings route, or would you rather be this like martyr who like made a final joke and then they were like, you can't talk anymore? Like that's a way cooler way to end your show. So like I wonder if Jimmy Kimmel was like kind of in on this and knew that that would be a way to go out.
That is a very good point, because there's no way.
That'd be way cooler than him just sadly going like, uh-oh, we're losing money like crazy. Because we were looking up even the Conan O'Brien's podcast, right? It's making so much money. I can't remember, like sometimes I can't rember when the difference between somebody making like 40 million versus 80 million an episode, but it's something crazy like that, where he's making like that he individually is taking home on top of all of the profits, because it's so easy to produce. He probably has like a team of like 20 people tops, right? Now, and like maybe even 10 and a studio, right? And then something like Jimmy Kimmel is taking way too much money to produce, and it's like getting the same views if not less.
But the great thing about Conan O'Brien is that Conan O'Brien is a Harvard graduate. He lives in LA. You know what his politics are, but he's just funny. It's not he won't make a Trump joke, but you're like, that's good.
The key is being
it's
funny.
The key is being funny and not sounding bitter and angry.
Exactly.
And that's the thing with Kimmel. It's just like, he said that, and it wasn't like, oh, that's actually a good joke. It's just like, it wasn't a joke. It was just a dig. It's always a dig. It's just like, there's something about him that he just hates Trump, that guy who he's never met. It's just, you see the visceral hatred he has, not just for one man, but it's like the people that voted for him. Like, like just the disgust he has for like half of the country, it just oozes out of him. Whereas like with Conan, like, you don't get that. You just get, this guy's all about the jokes. Yeah. So it's, and that's what comes out.
He's more centrist to me.
That's how he comes across, but like, you know, he's not. Like,
what do you think he is?
I think he's a liberal elite. He's a Harvard graduate, highly educated. Yeah. His parents were doctors, lives in LA. Yeah. And he's neighbors with like,
but he doesn't.
all the celebrities.
But he treats all of his staff so much like friends, and he has respect for even the working class and stuff. So I feel like, I don't know if I would call him like this super liberal elite guy.
Because he doesn't come out of it off like that.
Well, because I mean, because he doesn't come off like that, because he's from his actions and his behavior. I don't know if he's like secretly going, oh my God, my receptionist is dumb behind closed doors.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel is known, like, he is an asshole. Like, he had a lot of bite. Like, if you watch The Man Show and how he treated people, he's always been a dick. Yeah. So what happened with Kimmel?
Yeah, he could have easily been Ellened. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe this is all kind of purposeful.
So he was also working class growing up, so he has a little bite to him. Like, his Uncle Frank used to be on his show. Yeah. Like, those early days of his show, he was very blue. But what happened to him was the same thing that happened to Howard Stern. Yeah. They both married very liberal women, and they turned them into little bitches. Like, that's what happened.
And Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, same thing happened to him.
Exactly.
One second, I'm feeling paranoid. You keep talking. I just want to see. Okay, we're good. Keep going. Keep talking.
Yeah, so like with Bill, exactly. So it's just they have very liberal women, and they have very hard stance on things, and then that's what they have to take now. So it's just, so Jimmy Kimmel left his former wife and kids to be with this liberal woman that was a writer on the show, so he had an affair with the woman on the show, became super liberal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Scandal.
Scandal, I know. So he's not this great guy, and he's always been a bit of a dick. Yeah. So it's just, now you can just see it in his voice, the way he goes after Aaron Rodgers for not wanting to get vaccinated because he's an athlete. Like he's making fun of Aaron Rodgers for not wanting to get vaccinated, saying, oh, he's a football player. It's like, yeah, but he's a football player who's made $150 million. This guy has access to the top doctors in the world. So when he says, yeah, I did my own research, it's like, yeah, a guy with CTE did his own research. That's what Kimmel said, like, you know.
It's sort of just like low shots.
It's just low shots.
Yeah, it's just like not funny
enough.
The guy
who's like one of the most, like, one of the greatest football athletes at his position of all time, did his own research with his $150 million, so he got to talk to the top doctors in the world about this stuff.
It's just, that's true though, it's just not funny enough. So it's like, I'm not surprised that he is coming off the air, and I'm actually just off, now that you're saying that, I'm wondering, like, why are people saying, like, comedy is illegal when it's like, he's not a comedian
anymore? Like, he's
funny. Not. Like, actually think of the last joke he told, and I know people have a hard time understanding what jokes are, but like, think of the last joke he told. I can't think of one.
Even when he hosted the Oscars,
it's just pandering.
Even when he hosted the Oscars, he had to make it about Trump because Trump just
it's like bullying level jokes. Yeah, it's not jokes. Like, it's not clever enough to make you go, oh my God, I never thought that. It's pandering jokes. So it's like, oh my God, look at how stupid this guy is who got a head injury, or like. Just completely dismissing, who's the guy who has the weird voice that is saying we should eat healthier?
Oh, RFK Jr.
RFK, like, all of his jokes about RFK and stuff are just like, oh, and his voice is stupid, and it's like, okay, well, that's not funny enough anymore. Like, we actually want real jokes. So it's kind of interesting that people are saying, like, this is bad because that means comedians can't make jokes. It's like, I think the comedians are getting away with jokes. Yeah, if it's clever enough, I think you can still get away with it.
Your boss is allowed to fire you. The thing is, he works for ABC, so it's just like, you work for a huge company, and you went on there and you said something that the quiet majority is now not the quiet anymore, and they don't like that. Right. So it's just like, now you're gonna get boycotts across the board. So it's just like. The left is saying they're going to cancel Disney Plus or whatever, but so these Disney adults are always going to go to Disneyland. Like, so it is kind of funny.
Wait, why would they cancel Disney Plus? Just because he was canceled?
ABC owns Disney, ESPN, and all that stuff. And That's not going to happen. You never spent money on that stuff. You guys don't have it. Like these Disney, like you guys.
No, the Disney adults are going to keep going to
like,
Disney. Disneyland's doing fine. Disneyland actually has been thriving over any other entity. Like,
so
yeah,
and
none
that's
of
the
the
thing.
cancellations.
That's the thing. So if they didn't fire him, the people that spend the most money there aren't Disney adults. They're the ones that bring their whole family there.
And Disney could stand to fire some people, like some unfunny comedians and some bad movies. They could start to make some good movies.
So Kimmel will probably come up with a podcast, and then he'll come across as mean because he doesn't have a studio audience, and you're going to see who he really is. I think that's going to happen because there's no way he's not going to come back.
He can't go toe to toe with someone like Tim Dillon.
No.
Who's making actual like hilarious jokes, hilarious episodes, hilarious takes, and I would say Tim Dillon is much more centrist, and that's what the world needs right now, and that's how humor happens.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna go on, I mean, I think this is negative still, of course. Like, this is negative that someone is getting their show taken away for making a statement. Like, even if it's not funny. But it's 10 years coming.
It's 10 years coming.
It should be able to say any statement against the president. So I think we're right to be worried, but like, it's not like it hasn't happened before. Yeah. Like, do you guys really think that Steve Colbert was like panicking when Bill Burr was like making a joke about the Wuhan labs? Wasn't it Bill Burr? No, it was
his best friend, Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart was making the jokes about the Wuhan labs. He was like panicking, making him stop, and it's like, that was a funny joke. You should be allowing actual jokes. Like, it's been a while since a late night talk show has been actually funny and not just like straight up, speaking for the regime. It's just that this one they don't like.
This one they don't like. People got deplatformed for saying if you get the vaccine, you'll still get COVID. People got deplatformed for that.
They did.
So we're just gonna have to wait and see, because this is a crazy time.
It is.
But
I think it's time to bring back centrists, and I think it's time to bring back real comedy. And I think people who are going to survive through this and thrive are people like Tim Dillon.
People that are authentic, that don't
take a side, that attack both sides like a comedian should, in my opinion. I think you can still be funny and be a pandering comedian, and you can still get an audience that way. But I think I tend to admire the comedians who don't, who just go after everyone and anyone that is being a hypocrite, that is being, pointing out like, hey guys, like, are we all seeing this, right? Like, that's the job of a comedian. In my books, that's what I admire.
That's a good way to put it.
Same with like Conan. I agree. I think that I think you can either be if you're gonna be a political comedian, you have to attack both sides and be like Tim Dillon, or you can be like Conan and be like pure silliness and just kind of like this relief, right? Or like a Friends episode. Like, I would put him in that category where it's like, I listen to Conan and I think it's like a Friends episode, or like an Amy Poehler who's just like making Parks and Rec, which is just like a silly little world that we're entering into, right? But I think we're kind of over the pandering comedians.
Or like the bitterness.
I'm not missing.
I know like what you're taking.
Like, my first reaction when I learned that Kimmel was off the air was just like, okay, finally. Like, I haven't watched it, and terrible. Like, I haven't, and I mean, I used to think he was funny. It was a good show once. Same with Steve Colbert. That was one of the saddest ones.
That was
because he was actually like incredibly skilled and funny, and and he had a
Trump
great
derangement syndrome.
Yeah. But then at the same time, like, I think Trump deserves to be criticized right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but maybe the censorship overreach, yes, but he did have.
He's also hiding the Epstein files and all this shit, and like, I mean, it's just like, it's time to.
But they didn't ask for that when he wasn't in president. Now all the liberals are asking for it, so the hypocrisy is like there. It's like, hey, you guys weren't asking for it before, but now you think that this guy can get got.
Because Biden's on it too.
Yeah.
They're all on it.
They're all both sides are on it, and he's hiding it from anyone.
It's not like, it's like all these elites are on it. Like, if you're in power and you're not on that list, then that's shocking.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the other way around.
The reason why the Democrats are saying, release the files, they know, the ones that are saying release the files are also on it, but they know he's not going to release it because he may be also on it. So they're allowed to say that. So even if the ones that are saying release it are the ones that are still on it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a sick game that they're playing. Yeah. So right now, everyone.
But they'll never be released.
They'll never be released.
But we all know what the list is anyway. We could all write it right now.
Yeah.
I think Tim Dillon might have said that, but that's true. We could all write it right now.
Exactly. But with Kimmel, I think it's good written.
Even Kimmel could be on it.
He needs like a taste of humble pie. So I want him to go have a podcast and have it fail epically because you're not funny. He doesn't have to completely rebrand himself.
You don't have to stand on his own.
Stand on your own, so you don't have a giant network
behind you and government behind you.
And
he's crying now because the government's like, we're not backing this anymore.
Oh my God, he cried when Trump got voted president again. The guy literally went on and started crying. So it's just like, you know what? Screw you.
Yeah.
Screw you. Nobody likes you. Go home. But think of the let's finish it with South Park.
Okay, yeah, South Park.
I think that I trust their art. I think they always try to find the joke and the funny.
They do.
Charlie Kirk even found that funny when he was because they were making fun of him and he was like very, very supportive of it. He's like, this is very funny. I heard that if they say you by name, that means something special because they rarely do it. Yeah. They rarely when they make fun of someone, they either don't say their name and just kind of make fun of them. But the fact that they say your name, you're in rare company. So he was talking about how proud he was of that.
Oh yeah, that'd be like a life goal to be mentioned
so it's just
and made
he wasn't
fun of.
He wasn't bitter about that. He's like, good on them for your speech. It was really funny. And I'm curious to see where they go, but I think we should just trust them. I think they've been going on for so long. No matter where they go with it, let's not cancel South Park.
No.
Let's just see them play out this season. See how they do it, and I think they will do it masterfully.
I think they've kept my respect over the years. Like something like The Simpsons, which I would say was truly my favorite show in the entire world. They unfortunately went wimpy.
Yeah, because they just had overturn of writers. Yeah. The thing is, South Park's always had the same two guys.
But South Park has kept, those guys have kept control, and I'm sure they could have made way more money if they didn't, but they've kept control, and I do think they're smart comedians. I think they are real comedians too. So I'm excited to see it come out. And, what do you guys think?
Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want in the comments.
We're going to try to do more of these on-the-go episodes. I know our background and our audio isn't as clear, but let us know if you want to keep these coming. And thanks for watching.
Peace. Let's see how long that was.
It's fine.
Oh, that's 20 minutes. Perfect. Okay.